This time of year, there are lots of urban myths and historical and religious misconceptions that float around trying to get people to see Christmas as a pagan holiday, like this one.
Constantine, he syncretized Baal worship into Christianity.
There is zero evidence of this. It's usually the kind of thing you hear from grossly misinformed critics and conspiracy theorists.
Now, I don't have time to talk about it, but Tammuz was born on December 25th. That's another story for another day.
There is nothing in ancient Mesopotamian myths about Tammuz, who is the Sumerian shepherd god Dumuzi, being born or dying in the month of December.
I shouldn't go here this close to Christmas, should I? But I don't know if I should go here yet.
Well, let's be honest. You already planned to go here, and this is really just theatrics.
Tammuz died on December 23rd. And he was born on December 25th. So the way you symbolize the death of Nimrod and the birth of Baal was you would get a tree, an evergreen tree, and you would set it on fire. Ezekiel called it the image of jealousy.
There is no evidence for this practice, and scholars aren't sure about what Ezekiel's image of jealousy really is. The biblical language typically refers to an idol, and this is going to be a representation of some god that pagans worshipped. There really isn't any evidence that Nimrod was worshipped as a deity in the ancient Near East.
And then on December 25th, you would set up a new tree and put tinsel around it and decorate it and put balls on it. And you would symbolize, oh, this is church, by the way, lean in. And it would symbolize Nimrod has been reborn.
Once again, we've got a lot of problems here. The first recorded instance of a Christmas tree dates back to the early 1400s AD. The first recorded use of tinsel dates to the 1600s. And when Christmas trees were first introduced, they were decorated with fruits, nuts, and sweets for children. And then later on, glass blowers made ornaments to decorate the trees. But none of this predates the late medieval period.
This is why Deuteronomy says, you shall not plant a tree, any kind of tree, next to the altar of the Lord your God. Because the tree was Baal.
This is absolutely false. The prohibition against planting trees next to altars is specified in Deuteronomy 16:21. You shall not plant any tree as an Asherah beside the altar of the Lord your God that you shall make. This sacred tree is known as an Asherah pole, which was a symbol associated with Asherah, who was a Canaanite fertility goddess.
I lost half the church here. Jeremiah 10 verse 1. Put it on the screen for me. Hear the word the Lord speaks to your house of Israel. Let's read it together. Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, do not learn the way of the Gentiles. Do not be dismayed at the signs of the heaven, for the Gentiles are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are futile. For one cuts a tree from the forest, the work of the hands of a workman with the axe. Next verse, verse 4. They decorate it with silver and gold and fasten it with nails and hammers so it will not topple. I got news for you, America. The Christmas tree is idolatry.
So Jeremiah's reference to decoration with silver and gold is a reference to basic aspects of the manufacture of an idol, which was sometimes covered with precious metals. The part about it being nailed down so that it can't topple is referring to the fact that idols could not get back up again if they fell over. Jeremiah is actually making fun of idols, not condemning Christmas trees. This verse actually calls us to think about the idol of Dagon in 1 Samuel 5. This statue falls over in the nighttime and his priests have to set it upright again. The idea that Jeremiah is trying to get across is that the idol can't do basic things for itself, even get back up again if it falls over. This is also why the Hebrew Bible talks about idols being deaf, mute, and blind. The fact is that it's about an idol is clear from the context of the passage that's being quoted by this minister. So much of the content for this video seems to come from a massively discredited book called The Two Babylons by Alexander Hislop. Reverend Hislop was a rabid anti-Catholic who manipulated and even fabricated data to support the claim that beliefs and practices of the Roman Catholic Church were connected to ancient Babylonian religion. This is completely false, and Hislop's work is generally the most popular with anti-Catholics, conspiracy theorists, and bigoted ethnic superiority groups. Church historians generally see the two Babylons as utterly worthless. And unfortunately, most of what is said in this video seems to come from that book. If you look at the screen behind the preacher, you'll see that it claims to use a source called Morals and Dogmas, written by Albert Pike. This was a book that Pike wrote to expose parts of Freemasonry without giving away its secrets. However, it does have some similar thinking as Alexander Hislop's The Two Babylons, which again has been discredited because it is a nonsense-riddled, anti-Catholic polemical dumpster fire. So enjoy the holiday season, but be careful what you read and hear. A lot of people, preachers included, let their personal bias get the better of them, and spreading falsehoods and mistruths do not honor God.